If you've got poor soil, then it's pretty likely you're gonna have a pretty poor lawn as well, and it's gonna be hard work to make it look nice. So today, start to finish in this process, I'm gonna be getting some soil tests done, I'm gonna be getting the results back and talking through my plans, especially for the front lawn, to turn it around and make it absolutely sparkle this growing season. So let's get into it. Yes, g'day and welcome to a new video. In today's video, as I said, getting some soil tests done. The reason for this, especially on the front yard, if you remember from about a year ago, I got some soil tests done out there and it's helped me a lot. Out the front there, I was really struggling to grow grass. When we moved in and when we were inspecting the house especially, which you can see here, it was really thin, it was really struggling, obviously poor root system. So I got soil tests done. I found the pH was high, levels of sulfur were low, and potassium I think it was as well. They were all quite low. So I've been resurrecting that and working on that. It was looking really good throughout sort of autumn time. As winter's gone on, it has started to struggle. So when it comes to poor soil in general, you can fertilize, you can use great products. That is going to help improve things, put really good nutrients in there and be, taking a really good step. You can also do things like just get a pH test, correct your pH. That is often going to make massive differences. But to go a step further, get a full soil analysis so that instead of just working on the pH, and there could be 2 or 3 other problems as well, you can really go hard at it to see what specifically your soil needs. So like I said, made great progress out the front last season, but I want to keep making more progress this season. So last season, I paid for soil tests through Emma at Lawn Care Australia. I was talking to her recently just about soil testing and a few other bits and pieces. And I said, do you know what? I'm actually thinking about doing my back lawn as well, just to see if there's anything in here that I could potentially add into my regime to just take it that extra step, potentially make it more disease resistant, and just really, if I can, keep going even further to make this soil super, super healthy to be able to shine even more throughout the entire year. She said to me, hey, look, I'll supply the soil test. Last year when you talked about it, I got heaps of people that came through me because of that. So, kind of to say thank you or whatever. Said, no worries, just do it for the front lawn though, don't do it for the back lawn as well. So of course, she sent me the forms through for samples for both front and back lawn. So a massive thank you to Emma for that. So I will today be sending off samples. I feel uncomfortable, I don't know how to sit. And so what came through there was these forms that you need to fill out. So this is the one form that's the wind today is bloody insane. But you get through this form instructions on what to do. Very simple 5 key steps here. So there's a form, fill it in with your details and that kind of thing. Step 2 is collect samples. So you need around about 500 grams total from 5 different areas of your backyard. I'll talk about that more when I get out the front. Then once you've done that, put it in a Ziploc bag, your name, sample, blah, blah, blah on there, so they know when they get it what they're measuring. Send the sample, it's got the address on there, so that's nice and easy. Then you get your results and then you can start amending your soil based on that. So I don't know, getting a soil analysis, it might sound intimidating, it might sound like it's gonna be a difficult process, but honestly, get a bit of soil from your yard and bang, away you go. So these are my 2 weapons of choice that I'm gonna use for this today. Last time I did this sample, I just used the Pro Plugger, but today I am actually going to use the this manual aerator as well, which was sent to me by Emma, Lawn Care Australia, thank you. So, I'm just coming through, gonna get 4 or 5 lots of cores there. That is damp soil, that is. Got my bag labeled back lawn here. So I'll just come in and take some of these bits, just the lower part of the actual soil, take the lawn off the top. So by the time I do that I got a bit too much grass in there. By the time I do that another 4 or 5 times, I'll have some really good samples in there. Fill up that bag for the back lawn, and that's it. All right, so for reference, this bag here is 549 grams of soil. So about halfway up this medium-sized kind of sandwich bag that everyone has in their drawer. There's obviously probably a fair amount of moisture in that to weigh it down as well, but just as a rough guide, in the end, out the back there, this method I enjoyed a lot more than my aeration method, which could work well if you do have areas you want to aerate anyway, which I might just do. I'll grab that aerator in a second, but plugger. Now you could also, if you don't have a plugger like this, just get a shovel and just dig in a little square, pull that little slab out, grab your little sample off there. So I'll grab my bag for the front lawn. Geez, those roots, they do go down a long way. Now that's a pretty good section of this front lawn. Backfill this with some veggie garden soil. Put that back on top, just like you'll do with your little shovel slab. Done. And now this section is always generally one of my best out here on this front yard. So I'm gonna take another sample from over here. Now this area struggles, and if I had any self-respect, I would have mowed it, but it struggles a lot to do with sunlight issues as well, but potentially soil. So I'm gonna get another sample from here. And then off my other 3 sections at the front there, I'll probably take 2 samples from each, 2 small samples from each out of patches that are struggling the absolute most and looking the worst. Because to me, that's logical. The spots where the grass is looking the worst, take some patches, take some samples from there. I've got a sample from a patch that's good, a sample from here where I think the soil's good, it's just a sunlight issue. I'll take some others and that'll put it all together in here to find out the average of this front lawn, what is happening in the soil, and what do I need to do to fix it. And so as an example, this will be the next spot here that I come to, and I'll take a little sample from there because it's clearly a bit of shade from these little ficus here as well, but anyway, clearly needs a bit of attention. So I will finish off those samples, I'll send it off. The next clip you'll see hopefully in a week or 2, I'll have the results and I'll be able to talk about the plan going forward. Geez, that wind from a few weeks ago was absolutely horrific, but hey, soil test results are in. So starting out here on this front lawn, it's definitely looking a lot better than when I recorded those first clips a couple of weeks ago. And yeah, to see the results that have come in, they're not looking too bad, to be honest. Now, I'm not going to pretend to be an expert on every single thing that is listed here, but the main things that I'm sort of looking at and that I've been speaking to Emma about, as well as Ben from Lawn Tips, is the potassium and the sulfur. Sodium is also very low. I don't really know much about that, to be completely honest. Boron is another one that is extremely low, which I believe is sort of like a trace element sort of thing. So need to do a bit more investigation into how much benefit improving that will actually do. The main thing is the sulfur and the potassium. So potassium was extremely low. Both of those things were very low. Last soil test as well. They've improved. But what I'm going to be doing, the main product I'm going to apply is called sulfate of potash. So that is going to give me a really good boost of potassium to be able to, potassium being able to strengthen up your root system and just hopefully help out too with a little bit of disease resistance and that kind of thing ongoing, just boosting those nutrients to catch them up to the rest. So you can see phosphorus there is just about off the charts. And a lot of other things are pretty decent, you know. Magnesium's a little low, but you know, I'm probably not going to worry about doing anything with that. So overall, organic matter there, right up high of that ideal range. So I was actually considering doing a compost top dress for this season. I'm not going to. I don't think so. I think I might do a sandy loam just because, just for something different, but no issues going with sand again. You know, doing a soil or a compost top dress is about adding organics. I got plenty of organics, but yeah, I'll be using that granular potash product, and that'll be my main thing to give me a much better growing season and winter on this front lawn. So from that last video, the fence has been painted, which is nice. The playground area has been tidied up just a little bit and then made dirty again by the kids, but mulched. And also we've got some nice stripes going on out here. Big project getting posted this Sunday. But when you look at the soil test for the back lawn here, it is actually quite similar to the front lawn. Not the same, but it is relatively similar, which is very, very interesting. But again, from this, the main amendment that I'm looking at doing, I'm looking at the potassium, which is a lot higher, well, not a lot higher, it's higher than the front lawn, and the sulfur that's also reasonably low. Again, boron is basically none, and sodium is also very low. But the main thing I'm looking at is, again, the sulfate of potash, and that's about all I'm looking at really with doing here. There is a boron product, I believe, that I could use, but overall the biggest bang for buck here is going to be in that sulfur and the potassium. It will lower my pH slightly, but lowering pH in any situation is a very time-consuming thing. It takes a long time and a lot of product to be able to amend a pH when you're trying to bring it down. But overall, a pretty good, pretty healthy soil test. And yeah, it actually is a bit weird to see that the two tests were quite similar, front and back, when they've both been on the same care program for almost 2 years as well. Something you'll notice as well from that test is that iron down there somewhere is really, really high. So 3 days ago is when I recorded the video that I posted on Sunday, where I went a bit higher on my iron rates, and I actually did a fair bit of staining black on this lawn. So if that happens to you, you could be in a similar situation to me, where your iron levels that are already in your lawn are already a bit high. So it has faded. And I've just mowed it just now down at 20 mil, down from 22 mil. So hopefully for my project coming up this weekend, or that I'll be recording next week, it'll be coming up looking really good. But overall, really good to get those soil tests done. And hopefully if you've got issues in your lawn, or you just want to see if there's things you can do to take it to the next level, because I know that getting that potash out on here is just going to really help to elevate and hopefully have extra disease resistance and that kind of thing. So yeah, it's going to be worth it for me. Really appreciate Emma for supplying the tests this time around. And hopefully, yeah, others will use that service. She really knows her stuff. And yeah, really appreciate her help and getting those soil tests done. So check that out, and I'll put links and stuff in the description and all that kind of stuff. Look out for this weekend, Sunday, 5 PM. This is a random midweek upload, which I do a bit during the growing season when there's things happening. Chuck an extra video in there in the middle of the week. So hopefully you enjoy the extra upload popping up in your feed. Look out for 5 PM Sunday, set a reminder. I think I've said that about 8 times now, so sorry about that. And anyway, thank you for watching. Get your soil tests done if you want to take your lawn to the next level, and I will see you in the next one. Cheers.